December 1st, 2015. Screw the 25 days of Christmas. So we got. I hope everybody survived Black Friday.
The masses were out.
Hope they're recovering. Recovering their black eyes.
Again, episode 13 is the first. We are the Right Guys. That's R-I-T-E, the Right Guys, all together. Yeah, thanks for joining with us.
Woo. And as we start off the show, we will go into some NFL hot topics. We got some college football tonight. We got some NHL.
We got some MMA. We got some NBA.
You
name it, we got it tonight.
As always, we got a stack lineup for you.
Oh, yeah.
And we start with Denver Broncos. Look pretty good with...
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely went in there, upset New England.
In the Snow Bowl.
Yeah, in the Snow Bowl, you call it. The first Snow Bowl we've seen so far. Went in there, got that upset.
Brock Osweiler.
Took them OT, but, they got the upset. Then there was some calls there that were iffy. Tom Brady was saying that he's... was the most infuriating game because
and it showed.
Of the refs and stuff. But nonetheless, Denver came in there, won that game.
And it was just finally the injuries are catching up to him. Like I was talking to him last week. Are these are the injuries going to finally catch up to him?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden Gronk gets added to the list. Not going good.
Don't have any weapons out there. Relying on a lot of weapons.
I guess Amendola hopefully going to come back next week.
Yeah, I've seen that too. It's just unfortunate for New England right now.
Yeah.
And what's going on there. But yeah, definitely Broncos win. They're still in the top of that division.
With that defense, there's still...
You gotta hope and like to think the idea if Peyton comes back healthy and performs like he did, last year, that Denver's got another shot, man. They're right in there, and that defense is...
and I think this Mr. Osweiler was going to be good enough until... If Peyton gets healthy, and if not, I think they'll be all right.
He made some big throws. He just over his ears in the
That's a
in the
big
NFL.
arm.
Yeah.
That's a big.
Yeah, definitely. And he's putting those passes right on cue too. And it was some good passing. I was happy to see it. He did have one pick, but he had one touchdown, 23 for 42 for 270 yards. Pretty decent game. C.J. Anderson though came out of nowhere. Kind of out of nowhere. He's just kind of really quiet. You know what I mean?
Him and Holman both. They had a good point on the NFL. They're talking about. Thanks for joining. What's up, Ben?
Hey, Ben.
With Osweiler out of the regular formation, that actually gives time for the running backs to actually get a couple yards head of steam. Instead of when you're in the pistol or in the shotgun, you're getting about a step or two, and you're getting the ball in half instead of getting the head of steam. I think because Peyton wasn't getting enough time when he was in that pistol. He was working out for him, but it wasn't really working out for the running back. So I'm thinking it kind of makes sense that all of a sudden they put this behind center, and things are working out for more of the running backs.
Yeah, he went 15 for 113 yards, 2 TDs. 48-yard long on that. It was pretty good.
Yeah, Anderson. But if they want to do anything here in the playoffs, they're going to need definitely, obviously, good running game going. And then we're going to look at Seattle. Seattle battled Pittsburgh in maybe one of the best games of the year. I think that was really nice.
It was a fun game to watch. Russell, best game he's had so far this season. 21 for 30, 345 yards, 5 TDs.
Getting finally their passing game going with Baldwin and Kurz.
Yeah, and it's a good time to get it. This is the time where you need to start rolling.
Baldwin,
Baldwin, just huge. It was a huge game for Seattle. Rolls, always he's producing pretty good. He had 21 rushes for 81 yards, 1 TD. He's replacing. Beast mode pretty well.
Yeah,
he is producing, making that defense honest. And as you said, Baldwin 6 for 145 yards, 3 TDs. He was just outstanding.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
huge win.
Graham,
keep Seattle's
progression going. Jimmy Graham gets hit with a big injury. He's going to be out. Maybe even some of the preseason, maybe begin the season next year. It's a pretty serious injury.
Definitely.
You knew it when it happened.
And then who's replacing him? Luke Walton or something like that?
Wilson.
Luke
Wilson.
What everybody's saying is he's a more traditional tight end.
He's more blocking,
and it should fit in better with the Seattle defense. But Graham's a weapon,
and they were kind of getting.
I mean, he just really is starting to get into that.
What's up? 4-3-6-1. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, but he's just starting to get going. I think Seattle's on a promise. They're peaking right now. Russell's playing really good.
Defense is getting going.
They're giving up more points than they should, but you know what? That offense is able to keep it up too.
The Earl Thomas and Sherman's got to help out a little bit more. I think.
They're allowing way more points than they normally do, and that's not the success. That's not how Seattle gets that success. So,
it's setting the tone of defense.
Yeah, definitely.
Quick first, but they did retain they are leading the lead in rushing again, so that's their bread and butter. Is getting going. Even with obviously we're talking about Lynch, obviously with him out of the lineup now, and probably will be because we're talking about probably at least the playoffs. I'm guessing if he does come back at all.
It was a 3 or 4 week absence there.
They stole Rawls out. They were questions because he never got drafted because of he had some past issues with he actually robbed an elderly woman.
Oh man.
And it wasn't at gunpoint or anything, but I guess that's beside the point.
Yeah.
he robbed a lady. And
yeah.
That was just when he was young and stuff, and so that's people didn't want to give him a chance, and Seattle did, and I'm sure
it's definitely
he's going to be a long term.
Yeah.
Him and Lynch are going to be good with each other.
Good things for Seattle. I think they continue to progress. And
my pick in episode 1 or 2, we were talking about teams that could get in there. Still Seattle, even with the
and they're in that wild card. It can only continue to go up from there.
As we segue into our next subject is going to be the NFL. I can't talk all day. NFL playoff picture. It started today. This will be actually we'll do the seeding real quick. New England, Cincinnati, Denver, Indianapolis, and Kansas City and Houston is crappy as their season going. If it started today, they would get in. Mm-hmm. And here's the NFC side.
Oh, we got Carolina, Arizona, Minnesota, Washington,
Green Bay,
and Seattle.
My handwriting, sorry, people.
Yeah, it's all good. But nonetheless, everybody's right in the hunt right now.
Then we got the Jets, Pittsburgh, Oakland, and Buffalo in the hunt, and then Atlanta, Tampa Bay, Giants, and Chicago. They're kind of
they're all in the hunt. They're all just trying to get up and get in those wild card positions. And
we're still we got 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think we got a few more than that. But nonetheless, we still got quite a few weeks left to see really where those teams go. So those teams at the bottom, they need to continue winning.
Atlanta, they need to figure out, lost another one.
Yeah.
Giants lost another one. Oakland, big game against Kansas City this week.
Pittsburgh with Rothenberg fucking
got concussion
protocol right now. That's big. If he's not playing, it's not.
Yeah, Landry Jones not bad. Back up if they need him.
Yeah, they need Rothenberg if they want to compete in this playoff.
So if the playoffs start today, AFC. I'll go over the AFC real quick. New England and Cincinnati will start off with the byes, and then Houston will go to Denver, the 5th and 3 seed matchup, and then Kansas City will go to the Colts. Matt Hasselbeck-led Colts right there. Mm-hmm. And that would be if it started today again. And then obviously New England play the lowest seed of the winners, and then Cincinnati play whoever else. Mm-hmm. And in the NFC here, Todd will go over real quick.
We'd have Carolina. We'd have Carolina, Arizona in our byes. And then we start off with Seattle and Minnesota with a 6 and 3, and then we go Green Bay and
Washington,
because
they would have the division, so they would actually host Green Bay of all things.
Yeah,
that was just think about that for a second. Washington, we always say that every year. One division always like they don't even deserve a spot, but that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
You never know. Washington might go off and
We'll definitely see as the weeks progress how those pictures change. I'm assuming they'll probably change a little bit, but
Yeah, for the most part, a lot of those are
yeah.
like Arizona. All this is
Carolina's almost a lock. They're gonna. I think they clinch a spot in week 12 if they win.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be it for some NFL. We got college football. We're wrapping up the year, and a wild year. We always had a lot of upsets. So far, we have going into this week. We'll have the conference championships. Clemson, Alabama, Oklahoma, Iowa will be your top 4. And Clemson got to play North Carolina in the ACC championship. Bama has to play Florida in the SEC championship. Oklahoma's done. Iowa's going to be playing Michigan State in the Big Ten championship. And then Michigan State and Stanford's kind of the outside. North Carolina's kind of the outside looking in. And a bunch of teams that didn't make it we're going to be mixing up in the bowl season. Oregon's going to be in there, even though they have 3 losses and they've been kind of winning good as of late. So that's going to be something to look forward to. Let's see here, and then we got some NBA news. Unfortunately,
there's a couple news stories. We're not too big into the season. We're almost getting to Christmas break, which is the good part. Right now, the big stories right now, Golden State still 19-0. They go to Charlotte tomorrow. They got a big road game scheduled.
And we're going
jamming out. Nonetheless, so we got Charlotte tomorrow, and then they're going to Toronto, Brooklyn, Indiana, Boston, Milwaukee. They got a tough road schedule ahead of them. Can they continue to stay unbeaten?
Can they keep it going?
Yeah, we'll see. They're 19-0 right now. It's wow from Golden State right now. They're just playing really good ball. I think they're averaging like 115 points on offense. It's nuts right now. I think they're going to lose one of those games. Maybe that might be one of my picks throughout the week. We'll see.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, definitely. Watch the Twitter account. That's at RiteGuys, RITE. But yeah, Golden State's wow. And then as always, we got the big thing, Kobe Bryant. He said it. This is his last year, and it's a big loss for NBA. I think NBA is always a better place with the guy. Unfortunately, his body's just not. Just not keeping up.
He's somebody I watched Jordan as a young guy, and then got to see him a little bit, and then Kobe was one of my favorite players after that. Get to watch him play and win all his championships.
Yeah,
get to see all that, and one of my favorite memories is getting to see these last 2 that was without Shaq. He had to pal with him, had a totally different cast. Thanks for joining. And so that was kind of cool to see him later in his career. Still had, he was
still putting up
competitive numbers and everything.
Definitely.
And then all of a sudden, just the last 4 or 5 years,
they just couldn't get a team around him, and LA's looking like a shell of itself.
Have a couple of young guys there, but they're gonna have another. They lost again tonight to Philadelphia, the 0-16.
They gave Philadelphia their first one of the season.
So it's just not.
It's struggling in LA. Things got to change. LA's not used to losing, and that's not where they should be at the bottom of the West. They should be up there in the top, competing with most. And as always, next offseason is going to be an interesting one. You got a lot of different free agents, so that's pretty far away. We'll just continue with just sticking where we're at right now. NBA season pretty fresh still. We're getting into the meat of it a little bit. Again, Christmas games are going to be great. We'll get more into those when it gets closer. But yeah, watch for that Golden State and see if they can continue to
dominate.
Dominate so far. Right now they're looking very good. But yeah, anyway, we'll get right into
some NHL for you.
Definitely some hockey.
Doing really good in NHL so far. We hit a big a plus 165 with Philadelphia a couple days ago, which bring our record to 9 wins, 6 losses, or 9 out of 15, I like to say. A little injury update. Carey Price, he wasn't born. He's a Canadian, but he got to play his amateur hockey close to us, 45 minutes away, in Tri-Cities in the Western Hockey League. He's going to be out again 6 to 8 weeks. Mike Condon came in the replacement. He's been doing really good. This is the former, or Carey Price is the best goalie and the MVP of the league last year. Big loss for the Canadians, but they're doing fairly well without him. So far in the East, New York, Montreal, or New York Rangers, Washington, and Montreal are doing fairly well, and they're kind of the same teams they're kind of usually doing in the East. Dallas Stars, St. Louis, Chicago, and LA are finally doing good again. They kind of took a year off last year, the former Stanley Cup champs there. And like I said, we've been doing pretty good. We got a game going on tonight. Columbus Blue Jackets are we got another big upset. They're our plus 145. So if you guys do any NBA or hockey,
NHL, any betting at all, make sure you hit us on Twitter.
Take a look.
That's the RiteGuys, RITE, the RiteGuys on Twitter. Those are where you're going to get the first tweet out about what we're going to pick that day. So yeah, make sure you add us on there if that's what you like, you enjoy, definitely, because we're going to be throwing out picks all the time.
And then really quick, to wrap up horse racing pretty much for the year, they won't be doing anything until February. They had the Clark handicap, which I learned that it's been going the same amount as the Kentucky Derby and the Kentucky Oaks, and it's like 1840 something. This race has been at the end of the year, and I didn't even know that, but that's why I found out towards the end. But F and X, named after this owner's ex and got divorced, so F and X. Yeah. He got second to American Pharoah in the Classic. Was the odds-on favorite coming in, but he had Keen Ice, which beat American Pharoah actually in the Travers. Opportunity, Protonico, Mr. Z, a couple of really good horses in the field, and he won by a couple lengths there. Looked pretty good. And then in the Cigar Mile Tonalist, he is the last year's Belmont Stakes winner, which is at 1.5 miles. The Cigar Mile is obviously a mile, and he's can race a classic distance is 1.25 miles, which is pretty special for a horse, which usually they're a short distance horse, which is quick speed, or you got longer distance. Usually you got one or the other. It's rare when you see a horse like this can do both, and I was kind of wondering why he didn't run the Clark, but it's worth a little bit more, but he looked good on that one turn and ended up beating Private Zone by a couple of lengths, which is a really good race. And that's going to wrap up horse racing for us. And then our quick final thoughts to wrap up episode 13. We got
David Price.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. Red Sox.
Whew.
We're going to get a star pitch. $217 million, I believe.
They need some help.
It's a big contract. He's getting paid. He's going to Boston, it looks like.
Ben Henderson defeated Jorge Masvidal in North Korea, everybody.
Of course we mean South.
That last episode, we were talking about the fight, and we said North Korea, and I said stop for a second. I'm like, no.
Not quite there.
No one's fighting in North Korea. But they're in the first time they're in South Korea, and Ben Henderson looked good, got a decision. He's going to be a free agent. There's a Asian promoter there on site told him they could fight for him for $200,000. I didn't even notice. I didn't even look at I didn't notice the promotion. That's how weird it was. But he's former lightweight champion. He's fighting a welterweight now.
Definitely.
So that's going to be interesting to see where maybe he can go to Bellator, maybe to help them out. Let's see here. Vladimir Klitschko, 10-year reign, heavyweight champion.
It's all over now.
In Germany. Tyson Fury. His parents named him after Mike Tyson. He's only 27 years old. It's kind of just all wrapped. I mean, it wasn't the best fight ever, but Klitschko just didn't show up. Yeah. He came up in the 12th round, wanted to win his title finally, but it was too late. Tyson's kind of danced his way to all the titles, and we'll see how if Devontae Wilder or David Haye can maybe challenge him, or Klitschko wants to get a rematch. We'll see.
It does always. Oh yeah, we're going to be doing a MMA exclusive episode. I'm not quite sure when, so stay tuned for that.
Probably next Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, definitely, because they got plenty of UFC this month. It's going to be fight day after fight day after fight day.
It's going to be a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 10th, 11th, 12th. It's going to be one of the biggest fight week, I think.
I mean,
covering them.
What do we got? We got Conor McGregor, we got Wyman, Rockhold. My bad. Conor McGregor versus Aldo, Rockhold versus Wyman.
Yoel Romero versus Jacare Souza. That's going to be the winner going to fight the Rockhold Wyman winner.
Yeah.
Gunnar Nelson, Damian Maia. That's 170. That's
we got Frankie Edgar.
That's going to be Friday. It's going to be Frankie Edgar Mendez. And then Thursday is going to be Van Zandt, Newman, Namamunas.
Yeah, and then we have Cowboy Cerrone and Dos Santos. So
that's coming up. Yeah, that's the middle of December. So we're going to have a MMA exclusive.
We're going to talk about the fights. We're going to look into the fights, and we're going to tell you our picks, and might even throw out some picks from those fights. I definitely think we might be throwing in a FanDuel lineup. Might screenshot that, throw that up there. But nonetheless, it's going to be a big month for MMA. If you're an MMA fan, please tune in, like and share these videos as always. With the Right Guys.
And follow us on Twitter. Subscribe. We made it a lot easier to look at our videos. Yeah. Just go to our Twitter or
Twitter page,
or what else do we have? Instagram.
And it's it'll be on Facebook as well.
It's a link on there.
Yeah, definitely. Just click on those links. But we're everywhere. We're the Right Guys. That's the RITE guys, and it's all together. We're everywhere, like I said. Add us up.
We're like dog duty, folks. We're everywhere.
We're everywhere. Like and share the video. But that's all of us. That's all I have for us today.
Yeah, thanks for support, everybody. And once again, Russell Wilson, pass the peace.
Peace, y'all. Have a great day, everybody.
Take care.